Hello everyone, how are you doing? This is a big day for Train Life. A massive patch just dropped with a lot of stuff that we've been waiting for several weeks. So this video is to review some of that stuff and go through the patch notes. Now this version is called the 1.2 patch generally across all the platforms, but as you know I'm on PS5, so if you are on PS5, after the update, the version number on PS5 that you should have is 1.005.000. So that's how you'll know you're on the same version as me if you're on the PS5. There are two sets of patch notes. I'm going to be reviewing the ones for the console. If you're on PC, go and have a look on the Steam page for Train Life, and the patch notes are listed there. I did a very quick review of both sets of patch notes, and they are very, very similar. There isn't much difference, to be honest, but I just wanted to point out that the ones that I'll be telling you about today are for the console version in particular. So I've just launched the game after installing the patch, and the first thing, and there's nothing mentioned about this in the patch notes, is it loaded up very fast. So I have been playing a lot of scenarios recently, so my train here in career mode has been sat here quite a long time. So every time I've launched the game, this is the view that I've got, and then I've gone off and done a scenario in the usual manner. Now that service, so it launches at this angle, that service station over there to the left has always taken a split second to load in on the PS5. Today it instantly loaded, so there must have been some tweaks as well to loading times, which is really, really good. And to my eye as well, it looks sharper. The picture looks sharper, more detailed. Now, if anybody from Simteract is watching the video, maybe you would comment below and just let us know if indeed there have been some tweaks in that area. So I'm at the Zurich power plant. What I intend to do is just take a light loco run somewhere whilst we read the patch notes. So I am going to be reading and driving, so don't blame me if we if we have a massive prang somewhere. I can already see some items in the hood down the bottom right, you know, that have changed. I can see that in 485 meters we have got 100 speed signal coming up. That is pretty neat. That is something we've wanted for a while, but as I said, let me set a route up first, and then what we can do is get underway. We'll start going through the patch notes. So let's go to the map. Now, one thing actually that I wanted to know about the map is, okay, so the map controls are, let me just zoom in. The map controls are still back to front for me. So that's one thing that's not made it in this time. Although it is better. It is better. The navigation of the map is better. I will work on that anyway. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let me zoom back out. See where we are. We're at the Zurich power plant, aren't we? Where is the Zurich? Let me reset this, then I can see where we are. There's the Zurich power plant. I think what we'll do is we'll head up to the Basel coal mine. Let me just set that in. We'll head up to the Basel coal mine. We might not run all of it. Let's see. It's taking me that way around. It's actually quite a nice run, that one, isn't it? So let's do that. First thing I'm going to say at the bottom, before we get to the patch notes, just look down the bottom there. We now have a clear GPS button. Let's just try it. So that's triangle for me, because there was a problem, wasn't there, that really got everybody annoyed, and it was so frustrating that once you'd set up a route, you didn't seem to have any way of cancelling it to reset it up. So let's see if this works. And indeed it does. So you can see there, I'll set up the route to go to Basel coal mine, and then I'll just clear it. That's perfect. That is perfect. That's what we wanted. That's good. I also see that we have got, for PlayStation users, I don't know if this was the same on Xbox, but down at the bottom you can see that Open Station Panel is now correctly labelled with a square, whereas before Interact and Open Station Panel were both labelled X. but X would always just open the interact. So that's good. That's good. Those are the basic things. Some of the basic things we were looking at needing fixing from the beginning. So that's too much talking, by the way. So we'll get underway. We'll start looking at some detailed patch notes, and we'll see how we find it. It does look sharper to me. Even the cat is waving at me. The cat knows. The cat's been tipped off. I can still see, unfortunately, I can still see the matrix effect on the windows. I was really, really hoping that that would slide into this patch. On the PlayStation 5, the patch actually was 1.4 gigabyte, just so you know, if you're planning to download it. I've not got the details for Xbox. I presume the Series X might be similar, but the standard Xbox and PlayStation, I don't know. I know that on Steam, Trainsman mentioned in the Discord that for Steam, the update was 2.1 gig. So that's the admin out of the way, and I'm pressing the wrong button. I think we're good to go, so let's do that. Let's get moving. We'll just clear the power plant and get onto the open track, and what we'll do is we'll start reading the patch notes. So yeah, universally, if you're looking anywhere in Steam or on Discord, the patch is called patch 1.2, but on your respective platform you may have a different version number, as I mentioned right at the beginning. So some players were asking for the throttle and brake icons in the HUD to be swapped around, because you can see the brake is on the right and the acceleration is on the left. Now if you're playing on a controller, on my controller, acceleration is on the right trigger, so some people have asked for that to be swapped around. That hasn't been done this time. I'm liking the thing next to it though. I can see that I've got 120 speed coming up in 400 meters. I'm liking that, but I'm skipping ahead. Come on, let's get into the patch notes. So, tweaks and railways. Tweaked some issues with the placement of electric lines. Tweaked some issues with lack of camera collision with stations elements. And remember, these are the console patch notes, but they are very similar for PC. Now, on the HUD itself, updated the block occupancy icon under the minimap to display the state of not only the next, which is the closest to the player, blocking signal, but also the state of the following one, the second closest one. You can see that down there where it says next, proceed. We've got a blue, then an arrow and blue, so we know the next block that we're coming to, and the one after that is clear. And those blue lights actually there on those signals, they look clearer. Something's definitely, I know I keep banging on about it, but something's definitely sharper. And I'm going to watch out for this Bambi coming up whilst I'm reading this. So that's the blocking signals. Updated the GPS destination switcher above the minimap to display the remaining distance to the next route target when in the custom route mode. That is really, really good. Look at that. We can see we are 25,000 meters from the coal mine. Now I personally would prefer that to show kilometers and not have such a massive countdown, because you see the number is very fast counting down. But it doesn't matter. That to me is brilliant. Now, if you play Train Sim World, you always know that the distance counter is as the crow flies, so point to point, not the track distance. So I don't know if that in Train Life is the track distance or if it is point to point. I think that's the track distance, which is great. I love that. You can see how long you've got left. I always like to see how long I've got left when I'm doing something. So that's perfect. So that was that. Replace the old next speed limit icon on the speedometer with the new dedicated widget placed next to the brake and throttle indicators. Oh, what did I do then? I didn't use the horn, did I? I talked about Bambi and didn't use the horn. That's because I'm looking downwards. Oh well. A dedicated widget next to the brake and throttle indicators under the speedometer. Now players will be able to see how far they are from the next speed limit sign. We talked about that one. That is super useful. That and the distance to the coal mine are two of the best things so far in this patch that I have noticed. Then fix the problem with the minimap auto resize function not working. That did work. I noticed when we're at the power plant, my map was zoomed in, and now you can see I've got a much larger view of the surrounding area. That has never worked for me, so I'm pleased about that one too. Fix the problem with the vanishing reverse train direction option from the radial menu. So let me just change view. So the radial menu here, so the reverse must have been missing for some players, which is fair enough. Again, I've not been affected by that one particularly. And let me just show you a nice view. Love the snow in this game, by the way. Brilliant. Fix the problem that caused displaying navigation mode change icon as debug output. Not really sure what that one is. Fix the problem with incorrect distance shown in the cargo minigame. Fix the problem with finished contract summary screen displayed improperly after using contract detail screen. Yes, so there were a couple of steps within that contract detail screen that weren't working, so that's good. Now on to changes with the tablet itself, and this is the tablet. So let's see what it's done there. Introduced a new info tab that aggregates the codex and the restored production tree tabs. Right, okay. Where is the info tab? Oh, there we go. Now that is perfect. Now the PC guys have had this for a long time. And if you were like me, you may have seen me in the Discord. If you're active in the Discord, I asked if we could get a copy of this, because this is perfect now. Now we can see what all the symbols actually mean. There was previously the symbols just listed on their own without any kind of explanation as to what they were. But now you can clearly see what happens at the farm and what you can pick up from the farm and where it's meant to go, etc., etc. So that is really good. And of course, over on the right hand side, we've also got the codex, but the production tree has been given its own tab, and previously it was part of the codex. So that's good. I'm pleased about that one. Let's just go back. And added to the world map an option to clear the GPS route with a single click. We looked at that at the beginning. Change the codex formatting, adding more images. That's nice. All quality of life fixes. Fix the problem with incorrect cities counter displayed in the dashboard tab. Fix the problem with the inability of scrolling lists content while using a controller. Fix the problem with the inability to zoom the world map under some circumstances. Fix the problem with the codex pages flickering under some circumstances. So these are all good fixes. It's all good stuff. And then we go on to gameplay. So the incline-decline multiplayer has been adjusted. Inclines and declines should have much more impact on driving, which is excellent. So we have a bit more physics to deal with when we're driving. Updated the visualization of passengers waiting on the station to a new one. So that's good. We can't check that one out on this run because we're not taking passengers. In fact, we're not taking anything. Locomotive and wagon doors now open on the correct side. Improved automatic GPS mode behaviour for cargo gameplay. Fixed a problem with loading incorrect save data for passengers and postage contracts. Fixed a problem with inconsistent, I think that's meant to be snow behaviour in the alpine areas. What is the next one? Fix the problem that prevents saving changes done in the vibration settings. Fix the problem with city bonuses not being unlocked after levelling up a city. Right, that one's interesting. Let's have a look at that. So this was in the cities. So it refers to this, I think, over on the right hand side. Can you see the right at the bottom right? If I complete the level 2 requirements, then I will get +1 minor bonus slot. Now that's never worked for me. I did wonder what the end game was. So I'm wondering, have I got the slots for the ones that I've already completed? You can see there for Amsterdam, I would get 1 minor bonus slot, 1 major bonus slot. I don't know what the bonuses are though. So I'd be interested to know, actually, do I get the ones for the ones that I've already completed? So these are all good quality of life things. It says, due to copyright issues, the radio has been disabled. Let's just check that out. The radio voice. Maybe it's the radio voice, maybe it's our friend the Yorkshireman, who some of you on my streams call Sean Bean, and maybe that's why it's copyright. Maybe you guys have been talking about Sean Bean too much, and so they've took his voice away. Let's just...
Station operator here.
Oh no, he's there.
What can we do for you?
He's there. Right, so I'm not sure radio, I'm not sure what that is. Unless it's talking about the background music and not the actual in-game radio. Really not sure what that one is. Forced the cross as the accept button regardless of system settings. Yeah, we saw that, didn't we, in the tablet. And then there's a bunch of stuff for scenarios. I'll quickly run through some of these. The Hanover-Munich scenario, estimated time increased. Hague pump jack scenario, estimated time increased. That's good because some of them are real challenge and they're just not doable. Have I got a red? Is that my red? That wasn't my red. Okay, I think that signalling was actually wrong, to be honest. But we'll persevere. The Brussels-Amsterdam starting locations changed. Requesting station access at the beginning of company management is now an objective in the tutorial. Fix the problem with the last voiceover not being synchronized with subtitles when playing train control basics. So these are all little changes to scenarios. So I'm not going to run through all those. Have a look at those yourself. I will put the link to the patch notes down in the description if you want to check those out. These will only affect you if you play the scenarios. These are not general gameplay tweaks. So let's skip down into sound. It just says tweaks in the engine sounds. So I don't know what tweaks those are. Don't know if that's made it louder. Can't really tell right now, but there are some tweaks with engine sounds. And then there are some language fixes. Added missing translations for all languages. Fixed multiple translation bugs. So that is the end of the list. So you can see it's quite a big list. There's a lot in there. The scenario section that I didn't fully read out is actually quite big. So I'm pleased that that's being looked at as well. I have been trying to, as I said at the beginning, I've been trying to complete as many scenarios as I can because I spent so much time in career mode and I was waiting for some of the fixes that have been mentioned today. What else is there? So the bonus items, the things from my last video where I mentioned something was bugging me from the last patch. The bonus items was in there. The map orientation, which I think some work's been done on that and it is better. I'll just need to tweak that for my own personal preference. Signalling. I think we clearly went for a red light just then. And it didn't stop us. It didn't give us a warning of a red light. So maybe for the next patch there is some more work to be done on the signalling. But what I will say is, and I've said it all the way through, what I do like are these changes to the HUD. I love the fact that I can now see when the speed change is coming up. And I can see that right now I can go 120, but in 1,000 meters I can do 110. That was a massive thing that was missing in the last version. So I'm really pleased that that's in. Look down there now at the block. Can you see that the next one is blue, but the one after that is proceed with caution? We can see ahead what's going on. So it prepares us to slow down. Lots of you have asked me, about the signalling and how do we know when we're meant to slow down for a 50, or, how do we know if there's possibly a train ahead? Because once we go through the block, we're stuck. These two things that they've implemented now with the next speed change and the proceed with caution, the two blocks ahead, I think answers a lot of those questions. So it's good stuff. It's all good stuff. It's a great start. And this patch has been delayed from when it was originally announced. It's been delayed 2 or 3 weeks, I think, so far. But to my mind, it's a great start, and it's been worth waiting for. So let me know what you guys think once you've got downloaded. Drop me a comment. I know you always do. Thanks for the support on these videos. I know they're quite popular. As I said, check out the patch notes for yourself. and see what you think and enjoy playing Train Life. And we will do some more Train Life, I expect, pretty soon. So until then, take care everybody. Bye for now.